What is up, geeks and geekettes? It's another edition of the Countdown City Geek Cast. My name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this live stream is the one and the only Retro Ray. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, dude? Good to see that you're back and you're regenerated from San Diego.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good now. It's been a while, right? So just to kind of get everybody caught up, we're gonna be talking a lot about San Diego Comic-Con tonight because we really haven't done a whole lot on it. We talked about Robert Downey Jr. announcement. We talked about Deadpool and Wolverine, both while we were there in San Diego, and also on a live stream here. I did with JC and Tommy, both guys from the WrestleCast, and they tend to be a part of big discussions on the Geekcast show, but we haven't really talked about San Diego in its entirety. And so we want to do that. We want to take some time, go through it, answer any and all questions. And then later on in the show, we're going to do an exclusive San Diego Comic Con giveaway. And you guys may or may not know what it is. I kind of mentioned it once before, but I haven't talked about it a lot. So that's going to be coming up later on in the show. Stick around because I promise you, you're going to want to win this exclusive. All right. And then I also want to hear your thoughts, sir, on Deadpool and Wolverine because we haven't had a chance to talk to you yet. And then we also need to talk about what's coming up because even though even though I'm back, we don't have a lot of time to relax. Like, there's events going on this weekend. There's events going on next month. There's events going on in the big one is in October. I mean, San Diego is big, but the big one for us in our hometown is in October. So we really need to also talk about that. Very
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah, man.
there's too much going on, but it's fun stuff.
It's all great stuff, all fantastic
Yeah.
stuff, and we're so glad and happy to be a part of it. But first, man, let me get your thoughts on one Deadpool and Wolverine. You're one of the only guys I haven't heard from yet. So just kind of real quick, you don't have to go through detail by detail, but I really want to hear your thoughts on it. And also, if you're watching, if you're on the chat, say what's up. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you haven't had a chance to tell us your thoughts about Deadpool Wolverine, let us know right now. So Ray, floor is yours, sir. Give us your general overview of Deadpool Wolverine. Do you love it, hate it, maybe even your rating? What would you give it?
Okay, so it's a great movie overall. Some people complained. I mean, to me, I saw this as a reset, um, somewhat for the Marvel Universe, and to give some an explanation of kind of like kind of killing off some of Fox, but kind of keeping some of what Fox had. That's just what I took from the movie. Uh, Two characters that are, I mean, I love Wolverine, love Deadpool, X-23. Be honest with you, if that's one of the characters that I was out of comics for a long period of time, and when I went back to get back into comics, I walked into Heroes and Fantasies, and there was a guy named Rick working there at the time, and I was like, yeah, cool. I'm a big Wolverine fan. You know, what can I get into to read that I'm not having to start from the beginning? He's like, well, if you like Wolverine, you'll like X-23. It's just a 1 through 5 series, and it was just the introduction of Laura. And the funny thing is, that's Mike Choi, who the artist that later on, years later, I would use to do the artwork for the Deadpool Punisher comic. That was his
Wow,
artwork.
that's
Yeah,
right.
that was his artwork that I got into, and that's that character itself. And I fell in love with X-23. And you only saw her in comics, a little bit here and there in animation, not too much. When they did Logan, I was excited, and then that was the end. I was like, really? That's it? That's all we're gonna get from her? But with this movie, and at the very end, and these two kind of help regenerate his timeline, and they become the original characters. Dude, it got me so excited because now technically we get Logan back, and technically we get X-23, and they're in the same timeline as Deadpool. And there's so many, dude. I can go on this on a rant, but it leaves so much at the end of this movie because now it gives you all these questions. Like, okay, we know Deadpool's in the same timeline as the X-Men now. We know it rewrote that timeline because it was going to die off. So we know Beast is in that timeline or somewhat timeline because of Miss Marvel. So it just there's so many questions that it leaves, but good because how much of it did it change everything else? Because if that timeline got rewritten, and that means it's there, but then the introduction of Fantastic Four, Robert Downey Jr., dude, it's just so much. I loved it. Like I said, this one I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 just because the little Easter eggs that we got in it, the NSYNC dance thing in the very first opening scene, without giving. I mean, if you haven't watched it yet, spoilers.
I
You know
feel
what I mean?
the spoilers are now being shown by the actors themselves.
True.
They've spoiled every cameo. They've spoiled every big scene. So we can't really take any fault for spoiling it because Ryan Reynolds is posting all the spoilers.
True.
So it's not on us anymore. It's on Ryan Reynolds. Be mad at Ryan, not us.
But yeah, no, I loved everything about it. I mean, even the biggest thing that I liked, and my wife. These are the two biggest things my wife loved about it, and seeing her reaction on her face, seeing Cavill as one of the Wolverines, and then when we see Chris Evans, the way he's dressed throws you off, thinking he's actually a different version of Cap. But
Yeah,
then at the very end, when
it was a
he
great
yeah,
twist.
perfect. But yeah, dude, there's just so much. I mean, I heard your guys talk about what you guys liked about it and stuff like that. And of course, if you guys have been keeping up on TikTok and all the other stuff, we're getting the mixed reviews of Downey coming in. They're saying they bought him back to because Marvel's dying. I doubt it's that. They, of course, they had to fix the whole Kane thing. And I think this is a perfect way of doing it. If you haven't read the Doctor Doom Iron Man comics, I guarantee go get it. Look for a graphic novel. Go to Dragon's Lair Alamo Ranch. You can get it from there. But that's a comic series you want to read. Now mind you, they're going to not take the whole series. They're going to probably take bits and pieces from it. But it's a good read if you haven't read it.
Um, Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially our favorite comic book shop over at Dragon's Lair, Alamo Ranch.
Yeah.
There's a movie dropping next week that I'm going to be talking about a little later on in the show called Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah.
And they are also coming out with, I think, two covers of a prequel comic.
Yes.
I think it's a single issue, if I'm
It's
not
a one shot.
mistaken. It's a
Yeah,
one
one
shot.
shot.
Yeah. It's a one shot, and I really want to get it because if anybody who's not been following us, the prequel comic, not the prequel, the movie itself takes place between Alien and Aliens, the original and the sequel. So it's between the first two films. So like it's not necessary, but I feel like you don't do that unless you give us like Easter eggs and we see Ripley somehow, somewhere, or being talked about. Like, we don't need to see Sigourney, but we just need to know she's somewhere around. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we just need to understand that she's out there somewhere. If you're in the chat, say what's up. I got some comments right now. Eduardo Valdez saying, "Hey fam, what's going on,
What's
Ed?
going on, guys?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you." Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later on, and then we need to talk about that prequel comic when it drops. Okay,
Yes.
so I haven't heard your official rating yet. Did you have a 1 to 5 scale?
Okay, 1 to 5.
Your rating
5.
for Deadpool and Wolverine, and if anybody else is watching, I want to hear y'all's as well. So you're rating 1 to 5, 1 being worst movie ever, 5 being best movie ever, and what's yours, sir?
5. Mine definitely going with 5. Overall, everything special effects. People complain about the story a little bit, but for me, it was overall special effects. The story they did, the Easter eggs, 5 out of 5.
Awesome, love it. And we also have some additional Ratings in the chat. Maria via Corte also giving it a 5. Yeah. I gave mine a 5 as well, and I think it's because I'm willing I was willing to kind of not focus too much on the story, and I think that's what kind of most people that have issues with it are talking about, saying that the story is too thin. I
Yeah.
think it's just I think what it really comes down to is that Deadpool being somewhat affecting the multiverse, because he is in this movie, that's a big jump, and we're not used to that, and it's sort of jarring. And so people are saying, "Oh, the story or the plot is sort of flimsy," but I think it's more. It's not flimsy at all. But I think it's more about like taking this specific character and putting him into this overarching, overwhelming, movie plot, and I think that can be a little jarring. I'm willing to not focus on that too much, just because of the effort they put into Logan's arc in the movie, the effort of bringing all these, castaway Fox characters back. Like they did so much so well. The mask reveal, um, just everything. Dog pool, nice pool, um, all of that was great. You mentioned Human Torch. They did so many things so well that the story is less important to me. Not to say that the story's bad, but I'm not going to focus on trying to have some sort of Oscar worthy story for a Deadpool movie, because they did so many other things perfect. And so that's just my thoughts on that.
So I got a
You
little
you
thing for
agree a
you.
little bit?
No, I agree with you on that 100%. And the funny thing is, I wanted to bring this up about the whole Deadpool when you talked about that stuff, the other Deadpools. So if you, a lot of people, if you didn't know, if you don't watch Kelly in the Morning, Kelly Ripa, so Blake Lively was on there promoting her movie that she's doing. And at that time, if you guys remember, she was married to somebody else before she when she did Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds. So they were in the same movie together, and they weren't, actually together at that time frame. But later on, so Rob Liefeld created Lady Deadpool because he watched the Gossip Girl.
Oh, no
And
way.
yeah, so he was a Gossip Girl fan. And when he created Lady Deadpool, that's the character he kind of drew her from. So it's kind of funny, years later, they two get together, they're Deadpool, and then, you know what I mean? It's just so crazy that she got to play the character. And if you guys don't know Gossip Girl, the only reason why I know about it is because my wife watched it, and I would have to watch it sometimes. So
Oh, you're forced to watch it. You're forced to watch it.
yeah, well, it's a Blake Lively was good. I liked watching it because off the top of that, because she
No
was in there
judgment
too.
here, bro. No judgment. No judgment whatsoever. It's all right.
But yeah,
Well, that's
it was
cool.
cool. But what
All
other good
right.
news you have?
Yeah, no, definitely. Now we're gonna get into our San Diego Comic Con recap, and if you're watching us right now, after I'm done, we're gonna talk about the giveaway. The giveaway is a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. There's only one place you could have gotten it at the time. I don't know if you can get anywhere else now, but it was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. All right. San Diego. And if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm willing to talk any and all about San Diego. How did we go to San Diego? Ed wants to know, how did we go? That's a great place to start. Thank you very much, Ed. So I've been a San Diego Comic Con attendee in the past. I've gone 4 different years, and then I took a long break. Number one, because my daughter was born, and then number two, because COVID hit, and they canceled it, and then they postponed it, and then you couldn't get a ticket unless you had bought the prior ticket. It was a whole thing. So I don't talk about that. But our media team, we've been covering conventions and events like San Diego Comic-Con for years now. I mean, this year alone, we went to South by Southwest. Ray was there. We had an absolute blast. So we went to San Diego Comic Con as press, covering it for our website, for social media, and that's how we went. We got to hang out and pretty much go every single day. Even went on what's it called, preview night, which is Wednesday night. And I'm gonna try and remember everything that we did. We don't have enough time to talk about every single thing, but I'm gonna try and remember all the big highlights. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. But that's how we went. We went because we were press and we were covering the event. Let's see here. All right, so Wednesday was not slow. Just we didn't focus on a whole lot because the convention itself opens late on Wednesday. It opens like at 6. I think you got like 2 or 3 hours tops to kind of like roam the floor, and I did that because it's also the lowest crowd at San Diego Comic Con. So if you want to get something that you know you can find, Wednesday is the day to do it, and that's what you do. Thursday was sort of the first big day for us. I think the first thing that I actually did was I went over to a bar. It was just Thursday morning. Went to a bar that was dressed up like the Winchester Tavern from Shaun of the Dead, celebrating their 20th anniversary. They're gonna bring the movie back into theaters. I think it's this month, if I'm not mistaken. And over at the Winchester Tavern, you got an opportunity to grab some awesome exclusives. Number one, I got a shirt. I'm not gonna go grab it. I also got a pin, and this says "Sales Advisor Sean," and it has the there you go, Foray Electric. Yeah, 20 years, Shaun of the Dead. So this is a pin. This is an exclusive. That's not the thing I'm giving away. I apologize. And then shout out to the gentleman over at Beer Zombies because this was a free giveaway. This is a European style lager that they were handing out as long as you were of age at the activation for Shaun of the Dead. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to open this one. This is more of a collector's item, but I told the bartender, I was like, I really wish I knew what it tastes like. And so she gave me a second one. That one I drank. This one I did not. So I'm going to keep this one, but it's fantastic. And it's got a great sort of design on it. It's basically Sean as a zombie holding his cricket bat. Yeah. So shout out to the folks over at Beer Zombies. Great, fantastic beer. Had a blast over it there. There's a video as well. I put a video out of the Winchester Tavern, like all the stuff they decorated and things. It was really, really cool. I'm gonna try to remember everything now. Whew. Expo floor was popping as it always has. You know, this was the first year that San Diego was back to its full strength. What does that mean? Last year the strike had hit, so like they had the convention, but Marvel wasn't there. I'm pretty sure DC wasn't there. Like the major studios weren't having it. So because there's nothing coming out. What's there to promote? There's nothing coming out. So this year all the studios are back. Marvel's back. You know, Warner Brothers was there. Sony was there doing things. Paramount went really big on the Star Trek universe. The Walking Dead was back in Hall H. Like it was a great time to be back. It was full strength once again. So that's what was really awesome about this year. Thursday, I think, you know, we actually did a ton of sort of roundtable interviews. I let David sort of take the lead on that. We got to interview the special effects artists for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Great conversation with those guys. Those videos will be out later this week on Facebook, on YouTube. I highly recommend you watch them. David also talked to the folks over at Weta. He talked to the video game developers for Marvel Rivals. And then we also talked to the cast and the producer for a audio novel, audio graphic novel about a noir story. And the cast, they're all kind of big name actors from the past, but we got to talk to the producer of it. We got to talk to a few of the cast members. All those videos, I promise, are coming out very soon. We've sort of been lagging on getting some of this content out because as soon as we got back, David got sick, and so he was
COVID,
out for, yeah,
dude. There's a lot of
which is
people.
which is really odd because we flew on the same flight, we stayed in the same hotel room, and he felt terrible afterwards, and I didn't have sort of anything going on with me, so it was really odd how, like, it really hit him pretty bad and didn't hit me that bad at all. So
You know what it was? It was that zombie beer, man. Because he doesn't drink. You drink. It was that zombie beer.
we even shared a beer, a little bit. So we went to, this is going to be part of my stories. We went to a really fancy restaurant that's right next to the convention center, and we sort of did it on a whim. Like, this was Thursday night. He was hungry. I was hungry. The one thing about San Diego is you don't have enough time to do anything. You don't have enough time to eat. You don't have enough time to use the restroom. So when you can find food, do it. But other than that, after Thursday, we just said, all right, let's go find something to eat. This is how the story is going to start. I was passing by a line and I was trying to figure out what it was. And it was like for a party, but the line was long. So I was like, all right, I'm not even going to worry about it. Somebody, and I felt his presence. Somebody walked by me, saw the line, and did a 180 and took off around the building. And there's still a lot of people around, but I'm like, I know this person. I don't know what made me think that, but I know this person. So I started following. I know it sounds stalkerish. I get it. But I'm like, I know this person. I know that it was at the chin or something. I knew that face. I didn't see the front of his face. I just saw the side of him. And then he gets to the other side of the building, which just so happens to be the Hard Rock Hotel, and he walks right in, and I see him turn for a split second, kind of the side profile. It's Anthony Starr, Homelander from The Boys. He walked right past me, and he walked right past 100 people, and nobody said anything. Nobody noticed him because he's Clark Kent. Like, when he's not Homelander, he's got dark spiky hair, he wears glasses, and nobody can tell it's him. I think he even had a little bit of a scruff, or like facial hair. So it's just yeah, it was crazy. So I was like, "Oh my god, it's Anthony. It's Homelander." He walked right by me. He went into this restaurant, and so Dave hit finally got to me where I was, and he's like, "Where are we gonna go?" I was like, "I don't know, but Homelander went that way, so we should probably follow suit." I know, sounds kind of stalkerish. I get it. Um, so Dave actually, I think he was already in the same restaurant, so it's less stalkerish. Dave was already in that restaurant at the bar, even though he doesn't drink. And so I met up with Dave. I sat next to Dave at the bar. Two chairs from Dave, one, two, is Deep, is Chase Crawford, who plays the Deep on The Boys. So the Deep sitting at the bar next to Dave, and Homelander's like 20, 30 feet away from us eating with his friends. Israel Camacho is in the chat saying, "Yo, what's going on, sir? We're just talking about San Diego Comic Con. If you have any questions, by all means, man, let me know." We're just talking about The Boys. So we're at this restaurant. The Deep is next to Dave and I. I'm trying to think of something to say. Before I could say anything, he takes off to his table. His lady finally showed up, and so they went off to this table. But later on that night, Anthony got up, and I actually was in the lobby, and so I said, "Anthony, what's up, man?" And I just asked him how his weekend was. I think the panel had already happened, And so just he said he was doing great, having a blast, and then that was it. So what's it called? Got a chance to meet Homelander, which was pretty awesome. Didn't think that was going to happen. Not at all. Here's the other kicker. This was at the same time of Deadpool and Wolverine, the panel, right? They were showing
Okay.
the movie at San Diego Comic Con in Hall H, which was a lottery only. Like the only way you can get in is a lottery. And at the time, I didn't like it, but I understand it now. The movie is rated R, and the only way to prevent kids in line from already getting access right away is by doing a lottery, because every person that actually has a badge is an adult, is 18 or older, or 17 or older, I think, because everybody who's 16 and younger can actually get a child ticket, I believe. And so that's why that happened. Let's see. Israel's laughing, says, "We already know everything at SDCC. You know the headlines. You don't know what I did, bro. What I did is nothing compared. I mean, whatever the headlines you read are nothing compared to what we did at SDCC." So,
Well,
anyways,
so if you've
crazy
never gone
comment.
to San Diego, like Ted says, you're literally walking, unless you're a true fan and know these actors or writers or directors. So I'm in a hotel. This is when I went like 9, 10 years ago, I think it was. Anyway, I'm in a hotel right behind the convention center, and I'm going to this little get together they're having. So I'm walking in the thing, and dude's walking casual, short little guy is walking. No one's they're just walking right by him. Nobody approaches him. It's fucking Chunk. I'm sorry, excuse. It's Chunk from the Goonies. Like literally, go up to him. Hey man, this and that. Start talking to him. Take a selfie. You don't know who you're gonna run into. They could literally be walking right past you. The floor's so crazy. It's just unless you know what to expect, you got to keep your eyes out, keep your eyes open all the time on the floor because you never know who you're going to come across. So who
Yeah.
else did you meet?
So at the exact same restaurant as the boys was the lead guy from Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Kevin Durand.
Oh dang!
Yeah, he was at another table. So me and Dave are surrounded by celebrities on Thursday night. And so we don't go to the Deadpool Wolverine panel, right? And we're slightly bummed, but we also knew that it was like slim chances, right? But I got to meet Homelander, and so I'm like, forget it. I'm good now. You know what I mean? Like that was huge for me because I'm a massive fan of the boys. I saw the panel. I actually put the full panel out. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet, check out our YouTube page or Facebook. I think it's on Facebook too. Not right now, later. And the full boys panel is out. And the big news from there was that Jensen Ackles is back. He's back. He's coming for the next season, which they kind of teased in the current season spoilers. And then he's going to do a spin-off show. I don't even think he knew about it because he was announcing it from a teleprompter. And so if you miss the announcement, if you're not Israel, you miss the announcement. Jensen Ackles is going to be in a boys spin-off. It's going to be based on the origins of Vought International, and it's going to be all about him, Homeboy, right? Is that what he's called? Homeboy?
Yeah, so we're basically
Yeah.
getting the first Avengers of the boys.
Pretty much, and it's I mean it's gonna be sadistic, right? Just
Oh,
because
dude,
like his character is bonkers, and so he's gonna be in the next season, and they're doing the spin-off show, and there was I think one more thing that happened with that panel, but I can't remember. Let's see here. Israel says, I was the only one that yelled in my theater for Chris Evans and Blade Channing and Chris Evans and Blade. Channing needed to drop the accent, to be honest. But it's a comedy though. Listen, you're not alone, right? There's a lot of folks that said like Channing's accent was over the top, and I'm like, I get it, but in this movie only, you go over the top. You know what I mean? You have to make a joke about everything, everything. Blade even made it. They even made a joke at Blade's expense. Blade was like, "I'm the one and only. There's never gonna be another." And then Deadpool looks at the camera and like, because he knows what's up. You know what I mean? So if homeboy, if people don't like the accent, I get it, but like everything had to be a joke, everything, because it's a Deadpool movie, and so that's why they went really hard with it. But he did sound like the 100% he did, because they were his dialect coach. That I laughed my ass off when they made that joke. Ed says, "Did you guys get guaranteed access to Hall H because you went as press?" Not exactly. So we were invited by the studios to an early panel. As an example, um, Ray works with Boom Studios on a lot of stuff. And so they gave us an invitation to their panel in Hall H, which just so happened to be the first panel on Saturday. And because we got in early on Saturday, we got that chance to hang out the rest of the day. Like Thursday, there was no line for whatever reason. Like Thursday, I think I went to like one or two panels. I just walked in because there was no line. No, no, no. That was I think it was Friday.
It
It's hard to remember all these
it's all
things.
meshing. It's just meshing into.
It really is. I think either Thursday I went really early and there was no line. Like they already left. They already let everybody in, and then there was just like people coming in and out. So I think Thursday I went in for like one panel, and then Friday we got invited. Saturday we got invited, and we just hung out all Friday and Saturday. And because we're pressed, though, we got some really sick camera angles, especially Dave. So there's like a press pit that's right next to the stage, and Dave's got clips of everybody walking in and out of Hall H from that angle. So that was really cool. Dave, who I wish could be on the stream, but he's working right now. He had never been to San Diego before, and it pretty much went better than he could ever have imagined. So that's just kind of saying a little bit about what happens at San Diego.
Yeah, I'm jealous because
Um,
you did Doctor Who, man. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and then all the audio and video you got, I was just like, wow. That to me, if I went Hall H, never been to Hall H, that's the one that panel I wanted to be at.
yeah. What else? What else? What else? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, the Doctor Who stuff was great. The big news out of that one was that there's a spin-off coming, I believe, another Christmas special for sure. Yeah, we also saw the Rings of Power panel, which I know some folks are still hung up on season 1 not being great, but like season 1 was the setup. They had to lie to us and tell us this isn't Sauron, that's not Gandalf. Like they had to lie to us just to kind of keep it a mystery for everybody across the board. But now that season 1 is done, season 2 we can go to war. And now, I mean, now it's anybody's game. And so I feel like it's going to be more entertaining for everybody who's watching, because they're not just trying to hide things from some folks. It probably wasn't the right decision anyways. Like we all know this story, not everybody, but we can kind of figure it out. You know what I mean? I
So
don't
you
know.
think it's going to redeem itself this season?
I mean, I enjoyed the first season. Yeah, I enjoyed the first season. It wasn't mind blowing, but like seeing Mordor, come to life, the volcano erupting, that was epic, and I loved it. I love seeing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think season 2 they're gonna do a much better job, and plus all these creatures are bringing the Ents back, the spiders. There's gonna be way more creatures. The characters have moved far enough along, so it's going to be more entertaining for the folks that didn't appreciate the first season that much. You're getting a lot
Nice.
more of Tolkien's world in the second season than you did the first one. If that makes any sense.
Nice. Okay.
Ed says, "Man, I want to work with you guys and go to all those cons." I feel you, brother. I feel you, man. It looks like a lot of. It's also a ton of work. It looks like a
No,
lot of
that
fun.
is.
It's a ton of work, man. I have hours of footage on my phone. Also on my camera that I'm using right now. Dave's got stuff, so we're trying to get everything out this week and just be done with it because we got more stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, I still got the stuff
Um,
from this past week in the panel from Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Warriors too.
yeah. Talk to everybody about that. So we're gonna take a quick step away from San Diego, but the giveaway is coming up soon, so you guys don't go anywhere. But while we were in San Diego, Ray was here in San Antonio, moderating a panel for Nightmare on Elm Street. What was it? 3 Dream
Yeah,
Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
How did that go, man?
It went way better. I mean, that I thought it was going to be. I was nervous. My second panel that I was doing. But me being such a geek and the older guy in the group, I watch a lot of old TV. I'm a TV junkie. So growing up, I spent a lot of time behind the TV. So getting to interview these actors, we did the first wave, first couple of questions, and then, them talking about it, and then getting questions from the guest. But these actors were so cool. It's so crazy that one of the actors, basically Bradley, was in the running for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures,
As Bill or Ted?
as Bill.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he was talking about how, when you're going out for acting and going out for roles, how they recast you, and they were talking about, the question I asked them was basically each of them got their roles. Like, did they know, compared to now, like majority of movies, they don't give you the actual name of the movie you're going out for because of spoilers and stuff. So they kind of give you a generic name and some generic stuff to read, compared to back in the day when they'd actually tell you, hey, this is the movie you're auditioning for. So it was pretty cool. Eventually that'll drop. And then the other guy that was there, Ira, he was in Ghostbusters. He played the little minions, the stuffed minions, Stay Puft Minions, the one that's
Yeah,
little.
the Stay Puft Minis.
Yeah, he did the voices. Um, so he's actually friends with Reichman.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
so, but yeah, it was just great overall. It was a great experience with them. Cool panel. But I mean, we've been on the go. I mean, Tommy got to interview. Dude, I'll count how many interviews he had the weekend before.
No, the same weekend. So the
Yeah,
same
same
weekend as
weekend.
San Diego, Tommy was in Corpus Christi moderating. I think he had 5 panels.
Yeah.
I know there was a wrestling one, Power Rangers, Firefly. I think there was a cartoon in there somewhere. So either 4 or 5 panels, and it's great, man. Because I don't know if he ever thought he'd be doing stuff like that, but just from me watching him at wrestling events, because he's also a ring announcer at local wrestling events, I just knew like he could do it. I knew he could do it. I knew he could pull it off. And at this event was Mick Foley and Lita. So those videos are going to come out very soon. But I told Tommy, like, bro, you can't pass up having a conversation with Mick and Lita.
Yep. That's so true. You never
Yeah.
know when you get opportunity like that.
Yeah, so I gotta talk to Tommy, and we gotta get we gotta get those panels also out very very soon. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy, just like how busy we've been lately, and it feels like Superhero Comic Con was just yesterday. Like it doesn't feel like it was in June, right? It was in June.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that at all. It's now August. It was the last weekend in June, and it does not feel like it was that long ago. It really doesn't.
Yeah. It
So
went by fast. I mean, there was so much more news. There was so much comic book news that dropped as well, like new series that were coming out. That's what I keep track of. We're getting a Thundercats He-Man crossover. Um, and mind you, I wasn't there. This is just me keeping up on the comic book news. Um, Boom is going to give us a new Power Rangers comic. Of course, we're working with Nico, who did all the interior artwork for the Power Rangers Returns, and worked with Amy Jo Johnson and worked with Matt Hudson, and we're gonna the first time. So he's based out of Japan. He's never been to the States, so you really haven't been able to buy any of his art here, other than at your local comic book stores when you're buying the covers and the comics. So for this weekend at More Phenomenal, this will be the first weekend that his art will be available for purchase. And they're minimum limited prints. They're not like, a lot. So there's one exclusive print that he did that has the original Pink Ranger and the original Green Ranger from Super Sentai. And it will be available at the Countdown City booth as well. And then More Phenomenal has their own exclusive piece that if you bought the individual comic covers, you could put it together and it would make one big piece. But you can actually get the entire full set of the Power Rangers at there that has the More Phenomenal logo on top. We will have a certain number that's just the plain one, like if you put the covers together. I think Ted has pictures of those two items if you want to put those up. I sent them in your messenger.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I
Okay.
do?
So yeah, so you will be able to buy those, and so in the individual piece of the full Rangers, what it is, we're gonna have 11 by 17s of just, one's gonna be the Red Ranger, Green Ranger, the other one's gonna have the blue, black, and then pink and yellow. So that's the exclusive that he did for the event, and this one there's only gonna be 30 of those available. And then More Phenomenal is going to have that one at their booth that you can get with exactly the way it looks. And the other one that we will have is just going to be plain. No logos, just plain out, simple. And then the individual ones, if you just want the Green Ranger one, you can get the Green Ranger one. So that will be available at our booth this weekend.
And for anybody who's not sure what we're talking about, More Phenomenal is a Power Rangers themed convention here in San Antonio. If you guys are fans of Power Rangers, you should make it out. Absolutely. And we worked with them last year, and we had a blast. It was sort of their kind of big return to doing all that. And I'm gonna pull up their Facebook page right now. Hang on.
Yeah. So the cool thing is, if you want to get, because they're going to have Trini's daughter there from the Power Rangers Netflix series. She hasn't done very many appearances. So if you want to get one of those 11 by 17 prints with the Pink Ranger and Yellow Ranger, you can actually get it signed because both Catherine's going to be there and she will be there. So you can actually get those signed by both of them together. So don't miss that opportunity.
Yeah, so this is the More Phenomenal Expo. It's this weekend, the 10th and 11th, at the Wonderland of the Americas Mall. If you're from San Antonio, it's a Crossroads. We still call it that. It's free parking, obviously. There's no tickets to get in because it's just at the, what's it called, at the Wonderland Mall. And there's a ton of guests that are going. Yeah. If you want to find out exactly who's going, go over to their Facebook page. You can go to their website, check out all the guests that they have lined up. It is a ton. It's going to be fantastic. And yeah, we'll be there. Ray already talked about the exclusives that we're doing and working with the artists with. So it'll be a blast. It really will. Go check it out. All right. Get back to San Diego.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll probably save another stream for like all the headlines again and stuff like that. All the stuff that Israel said that we already know about. But I want to talk about some of the stuff that I got because I wasn't planning on getting anything at San Diego, and I actually left with some things that I never would have thought would have happened. First of which is Amy Jo Johnson's comic.
Dude, are you freaking kidding me, man?
Signed by Amy Jo Johnson. and Matt
Dang.
and Matt
Dang.
Hodson. So yeah, it's fantastic. Never had anything autographed by Amy Jo, the original Pink Ranger. For those of you who's still wondering who I'm talking about,
Wow.
yeah, everybody's first love and crush, man. Everybody's first love. Good old Amy Jo, and she signed it with a heart with an arrow going through it. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. She didn't have to do that. She wanted to though. I'm just kidding. What's it called? Frank Valdez in the chat saying lots of turtle stuff this year at San Diego. Oh,
Yeah.
this is also cool. So I ran into the guys from the Turtles movie TMNT, including our friend of the show, Nicholas Cantu, who actually is a Texas native, lived in San Antonio for a while. He kind of still comes then and again to San Antonio, and he plays Leo on the last animated film that came out, and so their new series is dropping very soon. It's got a weird title. It's TMNT Behind the Shadows. I don't even know what it is, but it looks fun, and my daughter, who's 5, she's all about it. So shout out to Nicholas, who we got to talk for a little bit over at San Diego. I emailed him too. I emailed him, and he didn't respond to me. So running into him at San Diego twice actually, because we talked for the first time, and then I ran into him like the next day or something like that. And so yeah, great kid, bright future ahead of him. He's pretty awesome. Oh, Frank says, yes, sir. Premieres Friday on Paramount, sooner than I thought. Awesome. Yeah, TMNT, my fave. Dude, absolutely. And this new Seth Rogen kind of universe that he created is freaking awesome, man. So I'm glad you're excited about it. My family's excited about it. And like I said, Nicholas is a great kid. I love his take on Leo. I like the take on all of the characters. They're pretty awesome. Okay, so went to thanks to Ray, we got invited to the Berserker panel, which is put on by Boom Studios. We got invited, and this was in Hall H, and I'm like, Hall H, that's a big deal, right? Hall H, if anybody who doesn't know, is the room where they put on all the big panels. It seats 6,500 to 7,000 people, and anybody who's in there, it's a big huge presentation. They go all out. The boys, they put on like this whole choir music introduction um for Deadpool and Wolverine. No, for the Marvel panel on Saturday, they brought out a full choir that did Like a Prayer by Madonna, and then they had all these Deadpool variants dancing all around through the aisles and stuff. During Alien Romulus, they had face huggers crawling in between the aisles and on the stage. And then some dude was on the stage and had an alien explode from his chest. So, yeah, if you go to Hall H, be prepared for a show. And that's exactly what we got every single time. Okay, so back to my story. We go to this Berserker panel, which features the legendary Keanu Reeves.
Dude,
I've
so
never seen
jealous.
Keanu Reeves with my own 2 eyes before, so seeing the man in person was enough to you know already achieve my goal for the entire trip. I got to see Keanu Reeves. I'm set. During the panel, he says, just to let y'all know, we have a limited number of autographed, exclusive, limited edition graphic novels at our booth. And I was like, say less. I'm like, I'm not waiting to the end of this panel. So, like, with like 2 minutes left of the panel, I knew they were about to end. I was like, I'm booking it. So I took off, went all the way to the right booth, and got myself a copy of his graphic novel, The Book of Elsewhere. And when I say that this is arguably my most prized nerdy possession, it's because it is signed by the man himself, Keanu Reeves. And I can't tell you what this means to me. Like, I know people know him from John Wick, Matrix, but I started with Keanu from Bill and Ted. Yeah, it was cheesy and it was, the late 80s or early 90s, but I'm Ted and that was Ted, Theodore Logan. Like, that's where my fandom started with Keanu. This book it looks immaculate. I really don't read a lot, only because like I'm a visual person. I'm a musically inclined person. So all my content, I either listen to it or I watch it. So reading is sort of not my and not something I do a lot. So graphic novels, I don't own many. I do own a few, um, but I've already started this, and I can't wait to get into it more. It actually looks incredible. You can see the letters; they're actually reflective material. The pages are painted black. Like this, it's a matte finish. It has a great sort of texture to it. It's absolutely amazing. And then to make things even better, when I got my book, when I picked it up, the guy saw that I had a Batman lanyard on. Batman is my favorite superhero of all time. People who know me know that. And so he hands me this book and he goes, "Here you go, man. This doesn't come out until October, but I'm going to give this to you right now because you're such a big Batman fan." So this is called Batman Resurrection. It comes out in October. It's written by John Jackson Miller, and it's a sequel to the 1989 film.
I've been talking to that writer, trying to get him on the podcast.
Now we have a reason to get him on the podcast. Bro, we got your book. Get on the
Well,
show.
dude, he just doesn't write that. He's also written a lot of the Star Wars stuff as well. So that's why I was reaching out to him for Star Wars novels and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, that book, I'm looking forward to it. I want to read it.
I'll let you borrow it, sir. Let's see here. Frank, hoping he reprises his Constantine role. Yeah, so the last thing we heard about that from, I think, James Gunn was that it's still in development. It's not dead yet. I mean, I guess the longer they take, the harder it's going to be. But for now, it looks like it's still possible. And I want him to come back as well. But the big news from his panel with Berserker was that a movie is in development. It's going to be written by Mattson Tomlin, who, if you don't know Mattson Tomlin, he's the guy that just wrote the Terminator anime show that's going to Netflix. Great writer. And so he's writing the movie. It's live action, gonna star Keanu as main guy, and then they are also going to do an anime style show series, and that's also going to be going to Netflix. So if you don't know
Nice.
Berserker yet, get out there to your local comic book shop, pick up some comics, pick up the graphic novel, because you're gonna want to know all about him by the time these shows come out. They're in development right now. Let's say they start filming early next year or late this year. We probably don't see them until 2026. So two Berserker projects already greenlit over at Netflix, both starring Keanu, and it's going to be exciting. Like, if you like John Wick, or if you like anything going on with comic books these days or the movies, how darker they're getting, Berserker puts all that to shame. Berserker is brutal, more brutal than Deadpool, and none of the jokes. So, like, figure out who Berserker is now, because when the time comes and all these projects start dropping, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, there's McFarlane came out too saying that they did the figure for him too. So that's gonna be dropping pretty soon.
Yeah. So McFarlane had two prototypes. Todd came out on stage, and I have this on video. That's going to be coming out very soon. And he basically he presented them for the first time to Keanu in front of everybody at Hall H, and they looked awesome, man. So he had two prototypes, and Keanu's trying to play with him. He's like, bro, chill out. Those are prototypes. Like, you got to take it easy, Keanu, take it easy. So yeah, no, it was a great time, man. It was a great time. Yeah, and that's gonna be sick. When those shows come out, I can't wait to kind of get more into this book, finish it because it's pretty awesome. Um, cool.
But then also too, Frank, just FY, if you didn't know and you didn't listen to, so we've had Aliana on our show, our an interview with her. She's also portraying a character in the new TMNT series that's coming out on Friday. And I reached out to her to talk about all the great IP she is working on, from Venom that she's coming out in, Ted coming back for season 2, and working on getting to work on the Turtles and play a character. So just keep an eye. We're gonna get her back on the show eventually. So just keep a lookout on us.
She's blowing up, right? 'Cause she's also gonna be in the Legally Blonde sequel, like,
Yes.
without a doubt. So yeah, absolutely. She's absolutely killing it right now.
Oh yeah, big time.
Shout out to Alana Ubach. Yeah,
Yes. She is so cool. She's the nicest person.
she's super sweet, and my God, she's like the most talented individual out there, just because of like all the characters that she's done over the years, how drastically different they are, and she just nails it every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just wishing nothing but the best for her. All right, I think I want to announce the giveaway. Should I do that right now?
So who would be the lucky winner?
Well, we won't pick up we won't announce the winner today. This is the announcement.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is the announcement of the giveaway. So, one second, one second. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna wait for the ticker to update. We were lucky enough to be a part of all these really cool things, and we brought you guys some really cool videos and content, and we're still gonna be releasing more stuff. So number one, thank you guys for the comments, the likes, the shares, and watching all the videos. Over like 15 million views in the last 10 days on, like, across all social media. It's probably up to 20 now because I haven't counted in like days. So it's probably close to 20 million views across all of our social media, which is bonkers. Thank you guys so much for all the support, loving the content, sharing it. It really means a lot to all of us because this was always part of the dream. Part of the dream was getting this group, getting this team to San Diego as press. And we're not the big shots. Like, we're small potatoes. When you got Screen Rant, Collider, CBR, comicbook.com, they all have their private rooms, they're all doing their big things. We're just this small media outlet, but I don't know if they have 20 million views in the last 10 days. So thank you guys for all the support. And because of all of that and all the great stuff, we got to give back, right? So, announcing right now the giveaway, our first giveaway of San Diego Comic Con 2024. An alien Romulus face hugger, boy. Yeah. This was a Hall H exclusive. This was given out to only the people in attendance who were watching the Alien Romulus panel. And I got some great video of when they attacked Hall H with the face huggers. They're running around everywhere. You had people with these face huggers, like, glued to their heads. And we're giving this away. How are we giving it away? There is a link in the chat right now. You guys click the link. It's going to ask for your email, your name, your email. I forget what else is in there. Your name and your email, and what city you're in, and that's it. You fill that out. One entry per email, please. I don't want 50 entries for one email, please. Don't do that. We will pick a winner on Monday, August 12th. Try to get this to you. Whoever the winner is, try to get this to you by the time Romulus comes out next week, and so that way you can wear it to the your first screening. But yeah, thank you guys for all the support. It's been really awesome getting to chat with you guys about all these announcements, these clips. Bonkers. The last 10 days has been absolute madness. I put out the one of the first videos that came out regarding the Robert Downey Jr. announcement as Doom. I put out one of the first videos. I promise you, I was one of the first. And my phone did not stop blowing up for like 2 days straight. It was just notification, 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 comment, 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 comment. The video now is over 7 million views just on Facebook alone. I don't even remember how high it is on Instagram or whatever on TikTok. Frank says my son would definitely wear that to the movie. Yeah. So thanks everybody for the comments, the shares, everything. It means a lot. And if you want a chance to win, absolutely free. This is a free thing here, not charging you guys anything. If you guys want to win a San Diego Comic Con Hall H exclusive Alien Romulus face hugger, say that 3 times fast. Go to the link in the chat. Oops, oops, oops. I probably should have changed that. All right, Frank, try it again, Frank. And then anybody else who tried it earlier, try it again, and it should be just fine. I had to open it. My bad. If you want a chance to win this Alien Romulus Facehugger San Diego Comic Con Hall H exclusive, go to the link, fill out your name, email, city, and I will pick the winner on Monday, and we'll mail this out to you wherever you're at. He said, "Never mind, it's good. Sweet, appreciate it, man. Sweet."
And
Oh
then
man,
also too, don't forget this weekend, stop by our booth because we have a Power Ranger red hoodie that we will be giving away as well as a prize. So come by our table and say hi and ask us how to win.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this on without it messing up my hair. Oh. All right, you can kind of see it there. All right, link is in the chat. First ever. This is our first ever. This is our first ever San Diego Comic Con exclusive giveaway, free giveaway from the Countdown City Geeks, because you guys are awesome and because we're having a blast, kind of bringing you guys all this content and all this just madness that is San Diego Comic Con and everything else. We're not done. We're gonna get off here in just a minute, but we can't leave without talking about the next huge event that's coming to our hometown here in San Antonio. Of course, we're talking about SpaceCon SA dropping October 25th through the 27th. Yours truly and the rest of the Countdown City Geeks will be on the grounds, bringing you content, bringing you interviews, and moderating the hell out of those panels. If you don't know what SpaceCon SA is, it is pretty much the biggest Star Wars, Star Trek convention outside of Celebration and whatever is going on in Las Vegas from this past weekend. Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson are all going to be in attendance. And that's not even like the half of it. There's going to be other additional guests from the Ahsoka show, from Mandalorian, from the Book of Boba Fett. Like, this is absolutely stacked, and you do not want to miss it. This is put on by the same folks that put on Superhero Comic Con. If you guys haven't seen our videos and our coverage of Superhero Comic Con, it was incredible. I mean, just so many amazing moments. Talking to Ernie Hudson, having a panel with the great and legendary Andy Serkis, and the stuff that he got to do and talk to us about during that panel was just incredible. So, if you haven't seen our coverage, go back and you can watch those panels. You can watch those videos from Superhero Comic Con. Expect all of that and then some at SpaceCon San Antonio the last weekend of October. Not I'm sorry, not the last weekend because I think Halloween's like in the middle of the week, right? So the last weekend in October, the 25th to the 27th. And if you have any questions, by all means, ask us anything you guys want. Frank's in the chat saying great lineup. Oh yeah, and that's not even half of it. I said Star Trek and Star Wars. Everybody you see on the screen here is going to be there, with the exception of Jonathan Frakes, who had to cancel. But the legendary Bill Shatner, Gates McFadden, Brent Spiner, John Delancey, Todd Stashwick, friend of the show, Todd Stashwick, Robert Duncan McNeil, Terry Metalis is also going to be there. It's just a stacked event, and that's not even half. There's
Yeah, you forgot
48.
SG1.
All of the Stargate folks are going to be there from SG1. There's 48 total guests, and we don't have enough time to go through them all. So you guys can go to spaceconsa.com or find them on social media at spaceconsa to get more information, ticket pricing, to find out what autographs and what photo ops are still available. Do not wait. Do not wait, because if you decide to go and Hayden runs out of photo ops or autographs, because these are all limited, then you're gonna be bummed out, and I don't want that for you guys. So do not wait. It's gonna be fantastic. One big piece of information that I think I can share is that they won't have any panels in the Freeman. So all the panels are just going to be where the main expo hall panel stage is. Well, we've been doing all the panels so far, and they're just gonna take up more space. They're gonna like put more rows of chairs because you have to. Like Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, like these are massive celebrities. And so there's going to be hundreds of people trying to watch these panels. Hundreds, if not like thousands, are going to try to watch these panels. And I think it's going to be great. Francisco Silva says, any of you guys made it to San Diego Comic-Con? We held our annual Buster Muster, and he said just subscribed. Appreciate it, Francisco. So yeah. I was just talking about San Diego, sort of my adventures there. I didn't say everything, but I did go through a bunch of what we got a chance to do. I did not see Buster Muster. I don't know what that is. You might want to tell me. The only after party that we attended was Mosh Isley, which is put on by like a handful of Star Wars podcast groups. And this is going to sound cheesy, all right? Keep in mind, I didn't know about this beforehand. It's Star Wars fans that jam out to emo rock and like alternative from like the 90s for like an entire night. And so we're all dressed up in our Star Wars outfits and cosplay. Everybody's holding a lightsaber, and it's just My Chemical Romance, I don't know, a lot of these bands, Alkaline Trio, just all that all night long. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm like a little bit older than that generation, I think. So these are folks that like were probably a little bit younger than me. I grew up with the bands right before that. I grew up with like the new metal folks, the Disturbs and the Corns and the Deftones and the those are the bands that I listened to. So yeah, it was really fun. It was really cool, and they gave out lightsabers, and mine's back there somewhere. So it was a blast. I will say that it was a blast. Frank says, "Do you guys ever go to schools as inspirational speakers to show these kids what's possible?" My son goes to South San, and they have a sci-fi club from Godzilla to Star Wars, watching films and etc. I'm sure they'd love to have something like that. It's funny you asked that. I was at a career day for my cousin's school. He's a principal, and forgive me because I forget what the name of it is. But yeah, I went to career day, and I kind of talked about everything that our team does, from the conventions to the interviews to the movie reviews and stuff. So I talked about that, and a lot of kids got a kick out of it. Although I was kind of upstaged because there was a guy who was a fighter pilot, and they were more interested in that guy than they were me. But these were also grade school kids, so like they're not as interested in like the MCU as we are, which is funny, right? Like there's a generation that like doesn't know Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man from 2008. You know what I mean? Francisco, I'm with the San Diego Ghostbusters. We took over a con party called the Cross Rip. We took it over from LA Buster. Started last year. We started Buster Muster. We're all attending Ghostbusters. Man, I wish I knew about that. I would have totally gone,
Wow.
man. Yeah, hit me up. I'll hit you up next year for sure, man. Don't let me forget. I'm gonna forget, so don't let me forget. Frank said, "Yep, the last generation of rock was our new metal." Exactly. And then he says, "Awesome." By the way, did you guys hear about Colin Kaepernick going to Comic Con and pitch his AI
Oh,
idea?
dude, don't even
We,
start with that, man.
I heard he was there,
Uh,
but I did not see him. There was also another NBA star who was there. We walked by him. I forget his name right now. I'm sorry, I forgot. But yeah, we saw a bunch of stuff. Did I miss all the Nestio shenanigans? A little bit. For anybody who just missed it, we're gonna get out of here in a second because coming up right after us is the weekly pro wrestling commentary show, the Countdown City WrestleCast. But if you missed the announcement, we we're basically giving out a face hugger for the new Alien Romulus movie. Boom. The link is in the chat. It's above. I posted it. Go fill out your information, and we're picking a winner on Monday. That is a Hall H San Diego Comic Con exclusive, and we're gonna give it to somebody who's gonna win a face hugger from us. I love saying that. Medris is in chat saying, "Farmer Ted, hey, what's up?" And he says, "Yes, let's go." I appreciate it, guys. Like I mentioned, if you are a wrestling fan, stay tuned because coming up right after us is the Countdown City WrestleCast. Great bunch of guys, pretty much the freaking encyclopedias of wrestling, and they're gonna be talking all about SummerSlam, which I heard was fantastic. I haven't had time to watch it, but I heard SummerSlam was really good. So don't leave, don't touch that dial, and good luck to you guys on the exclusive giveaway for the face hugger. Also, be sure to like and subscribe because we got movie advanced screening tickets coming up very soon for a few films. I don't want to say what they are yet, just in case they move the date or postpone. So I won't say that just yet. But let's just say that summer's not over yet, and we have a lot of movies that are on the way that we're going to be giving out e- ex extra early advanced screening tickets to. Yeah, awesome. We are so busy. It's not funny. It's just insane, my guy. Francisco says I got aliens autographs at Comic Con. Dude, that's awesome, dude.
nice.
Francisco says a cream will rise to the top. Absolutely. Bro, my son and I were living through you. Oh my god. That's awesome, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Ray, anything else you want to say before we head out? And also, by the way, I know that we're only giving away one face hugger, but there's gonna be like every week we're gonna have a new San Diego Comic Con exclusive to give away. So if you don't win the face hugger, there's more stuff coming out, and you're gonna love it. I promise. Ray, you got anything else?
No, man, we're good to go. Get ready for the weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys stick around. If you guys are wrestling fans, they're gonna go live probably in the next 5 minutes here, and that'll do it for us. We'll be back later on this week, probably. That way, I can get David on the stream, and we can kind of talk to him about his experience, because yes, I had a blast, but also it was not my first time, and I want to hear from David, who it was his first time, and kind of relive all those moments and memories again. So, for the Countdown City Geeks, my name is Ted, aka Steady. Just living the dream, and with me is the one, the only Retro Ray.
What's going on, guys? Peace out, man.
Thank everybody for watching. Y'all have a great night. We will see you soon. Peace.